Howdy y'all. Quick video. When setting up ILM, sometimes you can encounter the error that the index name does not match pattern for the necessary regex, which is that the uh, index string needs to end in digits. So this is a common setup error that we end up encountering. And basically it's saying like the index doesn't end kind of like in all those zeros one for the rollover API to actually succeed. So this doesn't come up with data streams, but it comes up when you're setting up an index with an alias. So after setting up the lifecycle policy uh, index template, it usually comes up right after bootstrapping the index. And it's in that command that we need to figure things out. So in a test cluster, we're going to create a policy that's going to do a rollover. We're going to create that index template. And then here we're going to create the index, bootstrapping it, but we're going to do that poorly such that it is suffixing, but not in digits as it's asking for. So going to create that, we see that the first command was successful, but when ILM explain goes to run, it's going to be telling us that the index name isn't of the format necessary for the rollover API to eventually succeed. So in this situation, kind of the best game plan is if you're early in ingesting data that you kind of just start over. However, obviously, production environments, if you need to progress forward, the way you do that is that the rollover API isn't going to work, and you can't edit an index name in place. So instead, for that bad index, you're going to have to use an ILM move step in order to move it past the rollover phase. So we're going to move it from rollover. The next action and step that takes place in my ILM policy is just the end of the hot phase. So I'm going to move it up to complete, but obviously check ILM documentation on which step you should be moving to based on which ILM policy you've set up. Secondly, we're going to have to remove that right alias that we had done. So at that point, we are now able to create the index correctly. So the alias is going to now point to both indices where the one ending in the digits is now the current right index for future stuff, but searches working against the alias will hit both. And then we see that that new index is not going to be erroring the same, but it's going to be able to hit rollover once it finally triggers based off of the ILM policy. So with this, you're able to fix either both ways by starting fresh or also pushing forward as needed for production. So we did it.